Hey guys, this is Darius Walker with Be a Fully Funded Missionary, and I pray that these videos are a help and a blessing to you as you work on raising your support. Today we're going to talk about should you contact the pastor? So the question is, when I contact a church as a missions committee, should I contact the pastor as well? Maybe it's sort of like an act of courtesy to let the pastor know, or whatever the reason. Should I contact the pastor as well? In the past, I would have said yes, you definitely should. The pastor can become a huge ally. If the pastor just knows that you as a missionary is contacting the missions committee, he might say, oh, wow, okay, I'm going to make sure that missions committee is on the ball with this missionary. This sounds really good. And so in that sense, the pastor could become a huge ally. However, nowadays, I would say no, you don't need to contact the pastor really unless necessary. More and more churches want the pastor to focus on preaching or something similar. Maybe they have a pastor of counseling, a pastor of children's ministry, who knows. But they want their pastors to focus usually on specific things. And so the point of having a missions committee or chairperson or elder or deacon is so that the pastor doesn't have to be hands-on involved with that missions committee and decisions about who the church partners with and supports and who comes and shares and speaks and all those different things. And so contacting the pastor would somewhat defeat the purpose from that church's perspective of having a separate missions committee that the pastor is separate from. They don't want their pastor spread too thin. And so if that's one less meeting that the pastor has to go to, then that's great. However, when is it necessary to contact the pastor? A lot of times when the church is small and they don't have a missions committee, or maybe the missions committee is it's not very committed, it's not very organized at this point, it's kind of ad hoc. Or sometimes, hey, it's the pastor who answers the phone because the church is small, so he answers the phone. And he finds out, oh, a missionary's calling me, like, hey, yeah, this is interesting. And so the pastor finds out about it, and that's totally fine. Sometimes a pastor will have a special interest in missions, and if you know that, let the pastor know you're getting in contact with the missions committee. A lot of times if the pastor has that special interest, they will be part of the missions committee, or they'll sit in on different sessions. And so if you know beforehand they do have that special interest, let them know, again, so they become a big ally. Again, hey, if the pastor is on the missions committee, he'll know. And that's great. A lot of time that's a good sign if the pastor is on the missions committee. Sometimes people feel a little bit nervous. Oh no, the pastor is on the missions committee. It's a little easier to talk to and present to random, average everyday people. But the pastor, hey, don't worry. That's a good sign, because that's a lot of times that can mean that there is a really good focus on missions at the church, because the pastor, the guy in the pulpit, if he's interested enough to take time to be at the missions committee, that's going to come through up front from the pulpit as well. So that can be a really good thing. So don't sweat it. So it can be really great when the pastor is the missions contact. But don't interrupt him, quote unquote, unless it's really needed. Don't sweat it about contacting the pastor when you contact the church and the missions committee. So I hope that helps you out, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.